Hey guys, how is it going? Good to see you. That was our own little Would You Rather edition. How many of you played along with us? So some of those questions, would you live in episodes 1 through 3 or 7 through 9? Let us know at this number. Bang!
Nice.
Nate's not even here, and it's just, that's how it works.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Well, he's kind of here, but mostly not.
Yeah, he's, you know, we're not going to. Okay.
Yep.
So throughout the night, if you want to interact with us, that's one of the ways that you can answer. These right here. So these are mini lightsabers. They're LED color changing, pretty sweet.
Yeah.
These tonight are going to be the prize for the game. I'll talk about that again later because there's people are just trickling in. But not only are these little lightsabers. Should I save the? I'll save it for later.
Good call.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, good.
So we're gonna put these. Should we? Here we go. We'll put these in R2's head.
Nice.
Okay. So how's your week?
Pretty good. I can't remember what happened. Just kidding. We went to conference.
We did. We had a conference deliver to us. Andy Stanley came in and spoke in my office.
And it was dope.
It was pretty rad.
Yeah.
He had some cool stuff to say.
He sure did.
Yeah. So we did that. Obviously, you're not Nate.
No.
Yeah. Turns out when you cut off a lot of hair, you get sick. And so
yeah.
he got pneumonia.
Not advisable.
No, actually, he's fine. He might be.
Hopefully.
He might be. Hi, Nate.
I heard that he finished his paper.
Early in the week, I think.
Yeah,
what day was it?
Like halfway through.
Thursday, he finished his paper.
So Nate, if you're watching this, why am I here?
Ouch.
Just kidding. Love you.
Ouch. All right. So this is what happens every week is I go back in, I take this video the next day and I edit it. And one of the things that I do is I edit out my phone number. So I'll be thinking about that as we're talking right now. I'm thinking about there's going to be like a blur right here. And so if you're watching this not tonight, I'll be holding a blur blob.
Crazy.
Right
and I'll be pointing to nothing.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Wait.
It's like it just floats here.
Yeah.
And your hand disappears when you go up here.
What?
Yeah.
I
and
love
then
that.
it comes down. It's really
I've always wanted to do magic.
It's fun. You could like.
Your face is censored. Nice.
That'll be fun.
Love it.
That'll be fun. Okay. So let us know who's here. We want to know that you guys are rolling in. Good to see you. Having a good week. Somebody's raising their hand in the back.
So far, I see Elliot and Rob. Elliot said, "Hi, Grace." Hi, Elliot. I'm so glad to not see you. Just kidding.
Lily is in
rather see you.
Lily Miller. She's on to us.
Rob Griffith says, "Like the shirt," and sorry. They sent, this is Whitney, right as I was saying.
Yes.
Good call. It's Whitney.
Yeah.
She says, "Like the shirt," but I don't know who she's talking to.
Probably you.
It could be you.
Probably you.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah.
And Clara, hello.
Oh.
I can't see you either. Oh, Elliot says, "Nice shirt, Thad." So.
Oh, well.
It's a little shade.
Thanks. Well. All right. Cool. Well, should we? So here's, in case you're confused as to what in the world is going on, that's probably the normal reaction for what's going on here.
That's fair.
Last week we had the taco edition in advance for Taco Tuesday. Did you know? Earlier in the year there was like a whole bunch of memes and people talking about 2020 is going to be crazy, and there was like all these specific stats. And this year, I suppose it happens about every 7 years. Taco Tuesday is actually on a Tuesday, which happens to be Cinco de Mayo.
Crazy.
That's what I've heard. I don't really know.
I do remember the memes about that.
Because that's mathing, and I don't really know how to count very well.
We don't like math here.
Yeah, so that's why we did tacos last week, and let me tell you, that was a lot of fun. Afterwards, I went to Del Taco. I ordered a whole bunch of tacos and then delivered them around town.
That was fun.
One of them was really fun because I delivered them to Bryn Lyon. I handed her the tacos and said, "You won the game," and she said, "I didn't play the game." So that was fun. But the truth is, I just kind of pick people to win. But I also delivered them other places, and they seem to genuinely appreciate it. Another thing I found out, there's a whistleblower. We were talking about beef. There was a certain company that they were wondering, what was it? How much of the beef is beef, or no? It was how much beef goes through this particular restaurant every day. And I had said, like, why is this in quotes? Why is it beef?
Question.
Right. Well, I had a whistleblower call me up because they wanted us to like get this out into the public. And Turns out somebody worked for that particular place. And it's called beef because there's grades of meat, right? And it's the lowest grade. And so it's technically beef. It's also in the same grade. Can I say this? I hope I don't. It's in the same grade as other products that say beef in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like
for small friends.
Like small friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Kate.
I was going to say that.
Yeah.
That's not what I was intending, though.
Yeah. Or even smaller, if you could imagine.
Yeah.
Smaller friends.
Like,
you could give them this beef and it would be like appreciated.
She has a friend that is almost the same size as her.
Oh man. All right. So anyway, that was last week. We're rambling already. See, you're fitting right in. I'm seeing now the problem is not Nate. It's me. Okay. So this week is Star Wars themed because there's Cinco de Mayo and then there's May the 4th be with you. May the 4th be with you. And so we thought we'd throw out some S Wars stuff. Yeah. Cool. So, yeah, do you want to play a
game? Yes.
Good, because that's what we're going to do.
Yay!
If you guys are just rolling in, welcome. We're glad you're here. We're about to play a game. We're going to flash this number up. If you don't know it by now, that's okay. That's actually really encouraging that somebody new's here, but we're going to go bang! Little delayed. You can see the lag on that one.
Yeah, the lag.
But you're going to text us the answers to this number. We're going to do some Star Wars trivia. This is some pretty good trivia, to tell you the truth. So we're going to really see where our Star Wars nerds are at. Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is, I think like Star Wars is popular everywhere, but this is kind of a Star Wars youth group.
Yeah, I would say so.
People ask me all the time how much I love Star Wars, and I actually don't love it.
Which is funny because there's a Millennium
Falcon in the youth room. Yes. It's not the real thing, like if you went to Disney World. It's a little smaller. It's like 15 feet. Yeah. We used to have a connection at Wally World, and they gave us the Millennium Falcon that was flying around their store.
It's had a tough time.
Anyway, so we are about ready to get into Star Wars trivia. So you've got the number, and here we go.
Jeff.
So as we go, the winner tonight wins these mini lightsabers. They are color changing. You can change them to it's like 8 different colors. And somebody in the chat comments actually got it. Lily Miller, shout out. These are actually chopsticks.
It took me a really long time to realize that.
Yeah.
A really long time.
So we got that came in a set of 6, and Grace and I actually got to use them this week. Not
those ones.
Well, maybe they were these, but they're clean now.
Who knows?
Cleanish. They haven't been shoved up anybody's nose or anything.
Well, I mean, there was that one.
We should probably.
Okay.
What did Jeff say?
He said, "No cheating by looking it up."
Oh, starting off by no Googling. That's fair if you know it or you don't.
Yeah.
Some of these are pretty tough. I gotta say.
Elliot, I have high hopes, man.
All right, here we go. Leia, let us know if you can see this. Leia uses the Force to re-enter her ship after being blown into space. What episode? These are all episode questions. Is it episode 1, 2, 4, or 8?
Oh, wow.
Roman numerals slow me down.
Okay, we're getting a lot of the same answer. And a majority of people are saying D. D.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Is that not it?
Well,
I didn't actually pay attention to what the question was.
Well, the answer is?
Ah, nice. So our first person is Elliot. Nice job.
Way to go.
Yeah.
Way to go.
You did it. You got the first one.
All right. Okay, next.
Yeah.
Darth Vader cuts off Luke's hand. This is spoiler alert, by the way, in case you haven't.
If you haven't seen them, don't watch this.
Actually, who cares? Just this will be.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay. Darth Vader cuts off Luke's hand, episode 2, 5, 6, 8.
I'm thinking it was Elliot again, but it could have been Emily. Either of them said different answers.
All right.
What is the correct answer? B. Okay, well then Emily. 1 point for you.
Nice.
She got it right. Elliot, you had the first one, but it was the wrong answer. So
there you go. Where'd that pencil go?
Sec. Good question. I don't know.
This is what Nate does too. He always fails.
Oh, thanks.
That's right.
Glad I could help.
Here you go.
Oh, thanks. Okay.
Yay. All right. Next. Luke cuts off Darth Vader's hand. It's kind of a theme here, like hand cutting off. That happens quite a bit.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Not even in Star Wars, just like walking down the street.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah,
I almost got my hand cut off.
People have lightsaber chopsticks. Can you imagine if that was a real thing?
I'd have no hands.
All right. Luke cuts off Darth Vader's hand, episode 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay. Whitney, maybe? What's the answer? Yeah, Whitney. Good job.
You go, girl.
It says Rob, but I remembered that it's Whitney.
Yeah, it is confusing.
Yeah. They kind of look similar.
But Rob and Jamie are listening just on the other side. Like they're hiding around the corner.
Yeah.
Their kids don't know, but they're just like in the other room, like putting together a puzzle or something. They're actually just listening. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Next. Anakin wins a pod race in spite of being sabotaged. Episode 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, we have the Harrisons representing really strong, and the Johnsons. Also Connor and the Lions.
Hi, Connor.
Yeah. Hi, guys. Did he?
Connor had a birthday. Happy birthday, Connor.
Oh, yeah.
So did Carly. So did
Carly Kenny.
Emily.
And Emily Johnson.
I feel like probably some more people. If you had a birthday, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Those are the ones off the top of my head.
Yeah, true.
The answer is episode 1.
Ooh, Calla got it. Calla was first. Good job, Calla.
Way to go, Calla.
I'm proud of you.
She's gunning for those chopsticks.
She is.
They're pretty dope. Next.
That's it.
Han Solo is killed by Kylo Ren.
Spoiler.
Oh, sorry if you haven't seen it, but it's your fault.
True.
Episode 4, 5, 7, or 8.
Okay, so first person was William Kaufman, but let's see if he's right.
I would expect him to know all of these.
Me too. I haven't seen his name yet.
I think Star Wars people call him to know what the right answers are.
Yeah, true. They're like, hey, William, we're thinking up a new movie. We need a plot.
Oh, man. I miss you guys. I really miss you guys.
Me too.
Yeah. All right. Answer is?
C?
7. C.
Okay. 1 second. I lost it. I already failed. Yep, that's what he said. Good job.
Nice. Nice. All right. How many left? 5 left. Here we go.
Cool.
Yoda dies on the planet of Dagobah. 2, 4, 5, 6. This is fun for me. Like that blows up. My wrist is like massaging my arm. Phone is over here blowing up.
Okay, we have
it's the only time I'm
Emily,
popular.
Calla, and Elliot are getting pretty close to the front every time. They just are super fast.
So I wonder if these families, if somebody yells out the answer, but see, there's only one prize tonight. So it's whoever is the most accurate.
Yeah, true. I can see the Johnsons.
So here's what you do. Yell out the wrong answer.
And then you get the chopsticks. Nice.
Okay, next.
Wait, you didn't say that.
Oh, sorry, go back. 6, D.
Ooh. You were all wrong. All of you.
Everybody? Somebody got it.
Unless I'm reading it wrong, it's possible.
Ask William.
They all said C. That's not true. Maddie? No, she said D.
Connor.
Oh, yeah, it's Maddie.
Connor just voted just now. 6.
Nice.
Way to go, Connor.
Maddie got it. She said D.
Nice.
Good job.
Nice. Okay, next. Boba Fett is first seen as a little boy on the planet Geonosis. Episode 2, 3. 7.
See, so
or 8.
The V means a 5, and then
yeah, I know how it works. It just takes a long time for my brain to translate.
Oh yeah, that's like me and analog clocks. We don't.
I look
get
at
along.
Spanish and go, I think I know that.
Claire
probably.
says,
I don't know how to say it.
Debating the answer to the last one. It's episode 5, she said. No, it was wrong. The answer was.
It's possible.
Jinx.
You want me to cook?
Dad.
Ah.
I thought it was 6. Wasn't it on the Ewok?
Well, since nobody is Googling,
C.
since nobody's Googling.
True. You wouldn't know because you can't Google it.
Yep.
And
Next.
we said it was that.
I'll Google
No,
it.
not next. What's the answer? Okay, Emily got it. That's 2 for Emily.
Nice. Does she like Chinese food?
I think so.
Good. That'll be helpful. It is a little weird. Eating Chinese food with lightsabers.
Oh yeah, especially the rice. But once you master it, you feel amazing by yourself.
Feel like a Jedi?
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried doing it as a clone trooper, but I kept missing the plate. Can't believe you laughed at that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Next.
I've been in quarantine for too long. You got the truth.
Wicket, a lovable Ewok, helps Leia in episode 6, 2, 8, or 3.
Good question.
For Clara, it is episode 6, Return of the Jedi.
Okay, we looked it up. Clara, you're wrong. I'm sorry.
According to this.
And the more loving way to say that is, unfortunately, Clara, William Kaufman disagrees with you.
Okay.
And the answer is
Yay!
6.
That's 3 for M. She is on top of it.
Is she not Googling?
That's a good question because
You can't Google
if
that.
I was M, I would be Googling.
So could you Google that?
What does that mean?
I mean, I would cheat.
I feel like you're starting a fight. I feel like the Johnsons have a lot of Star Wars knowledge.
That's true.
I feel like that is truth. All right, how many left?
Emily says it's Henry. He's my scribe.
Hey Henry, I won't punch you if you give me the answer. I think Henry could take it though.
Yeah.
He's getting pretty big.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. So is his hair. It's like
Yeah. He has an afro. It's
saw him
crazy.
the other day, and he got out of the car and was like, yeah.
A cute afro.
Yeah. All right, next. Anakin fully turns to the dark side of the Force. Episode 1, 3, 2, 4.
Okay, we have lots of answers. It's Rob, but it's Whitney. I know it.
Good job.
Thank you. Okay, what's the answer? B.
Trace.
Ooh, some of y'all were wrong. Elliot.
You're so loving.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So loving.
I'm sorry.
It was a good try.
I need to work on kindness.
It was a good try.
I'm sorry. I'll do better. Elliot, you got another one. Good job, bud. They were wrong.
Okay. Last one. All right. Last one. Let's make this one worth 3 points.
Nice. We're on the same wavelength.
Yeah. It's the Force.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
all
right.
right. Highest grossing Star Wars film of all time, adjusted for inflation. You can Google that if you don't know what it means.
Oh, wow. That was fast.
Episode 1, 3, 4, 7. Wow.
Wow. Impressive. Look who it was.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know.
Uh-oh.
I know. That's crazy.
Those were our leaders, I believe.
Well, first, we have to see if they were right. Because they both said the same thing.
Survey says 4.
Ooh, C. So, our 2 spots in the lead, we had Elliot with 2 points, I think. I could be wrong. I'm sorry. But it says you have 2. And M, you had 3. But Elliot said C first.
Oh, no.
And it was worth
What do we
3
do?
points.
Okay.
We could each give them 1 chopstick.
Yeah, you can split the set and just like, hey, can I plan on using those. No, the good thing is when I bought these, I had multiple.
Another
I
set.
had multiple sets delivered. So these unused chopsticks
Yeah, so one of you gets a used pair and one of
can
you gets...
be delivered. No, I have more. There's like 6 that came.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We'll just randomly lick one of them and then, just social distance. Yeah. All right. That was it. That was the game.
Nice.
Well, thank you. All right. So not Nate is with me tonight.
Of course.
And it's actually kind of fun. So this is about the social distance that Nate and I usually have, but it's like it doesn't make any sense
Because we live in the same
we're in the
house.
same house,
Yeah.
and
Good times.
that's the way it goes. But so we're continuing on in this series, and it is what to do when you don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cleverly titled.
Do you know all the letters still? Because
It's a lot of letters, and I don't think anybody really texts anybody that.
No.
It's kind of confusing, but if you haven't already, I've really been enjoying this series. So I don't know what you're doing for like devotional times these days, but if you go into the YouVersion Bible app, you can go in there and there's plans. And if you just type this into the plans, what to do when you don't know what to do, it comes up with a series. So this is a 5-week series. We're 3 weeks into it. But it's really good. I've really been enjoying it. And so I invited my family and Nate,
who is part of our family.
Kind of. I mean, I don't have a picture of anybody else on any of my shirts.
I'm glad you don't have a picture of me on a shirt.
I should show up at the school and just like,
no. Hey,
probably doesn't matter
I'm graduated.
now,
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter now.
I ain't going back.
Yeah. You might.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. So anyway, so we're in this series. I highly recommend it. It's a great series. And so we've been talking through some different things. And one of the things is everything in this series is coming from the life of Joseph. And Joseph had some crazy things happen to him. Here's the thing. I didn't get this until later in life, like when I went to Bible college. And one of my professors pointed out that there are really no heroes in the Bible other than Jesus and God, of course. But every single story is like, that seems kind of cool, but there's like some really cool things and there's kind of some messed up things. But really the whole point is just to like emphasize how awesome God is. And we see some things in Joseph's life that's just incredible what happened to him. Sometimes his character really stands out because of his relationship with God. Other times things are just really, really weird. And so to set up this conversation, have you, just talking about this whole what to do when you don't know what to do, have you ever been in a situation where you're like, man, I don't know what the right thing to do is?
Yeah. Thinking back to my freshman year, which seems so far away, or like far from now.
For
and
you, yeah.
And also really close at the same time. I remember I did volleyball from 6th to 9th grade, and the like summer of my 9th grade year, I was like trying to figure out if I was going to keep doing volleyball. And I told some of my friends, and Cal Harrison was like, hey, you should do swim team. I was like, that sounds crazy. I'm not sure if I should because I don't know anyone on the team except for Calla. And I'm like leaving behind volleyball, which I really liked. And it didn't seem like there was like a right answer. And there wasn't really. But I ended up doing swim and it was amazing. Had a lot of fun with Calla that year. And then junior was also fun. We had a couple more of our friends join. And then this year we had so many friends like join the team. Our whole care group was doing it practically. And there wasn't like, when I was making the decision to like stay or like move on, there wasn't like a clear answer, like what I should do, but it ended up being really good that I did the swim team and I really like that decision.
Yeah, I do remember you struggling. It's hard, as we were trying to get ready for this talk this week, we're both thinking about times in our lives. And I mean, thank goodness that there wasn't just one like, oh, there was that one time that I did the right thing.
Yeah. It's a good thing.
Hopefully there's a few of those situations. I can remember now this is a while ago, but I was probably a sophomore in high school. And so I did a lot of fun things in high school. And one of the things that I liked to do a lot of was acting, a lot of drama. And so after each of our plays, we'd have this huge cast party. Mm-hmm. And so as a sophomore, I've told you before, I was the youngest in my class. So I was not driving yet. And I was at this cast party. And there was a senior girl who was there. And she was really nice. She had gone through cancer. And I just remember just trying to be really nice to her. She had to, because of chemo, she lost all of her hair. And so that was, I can't imagine like just being threatened with cancer, let alone, I think anybody losing all of their hair would just be really, really tough. Yeah. And I don't know if this makes sense, but maybe especially as a girl, I don't know if that's right or not, but it felt like, guys can often have like really, really short hair, but you don't see a lot of girls that are completely bald.
Yeah, that's true.
And so I was nice to her. And in that time period, she became really nice to me. Now she wasn't a believer. So we're at this cast party And it turns out that the house that we had the party at, her house was right next door. And so we're in the middle of the party, and there's, a whole bunch of the cast is there. And she kind of announces, hey, guys, my house is right next door. Why don't we all go over and I'll show you my house? And so there's like 10 or 15 of us that march out the door and start following her. And it was kind of funny because there's like the front path, and then there's like the neighbor's path, Mm-hmm. Some of you guys probably have that where you've got kind of a secret gate to your neighbor's house or something. And so they had this. There was a back fence and then like a ladder over the fence. And we're like tromping through the dark of this field. It was kind of on a hill a little bit. And we're headed over to her house, and we get to the door, and I realize that there, out of this party of like 15 people, there's nobody else with us. It's just her and I at her house. And I already knew that she was like very nice to me. Yeah. And so I immediately, now I would love to say I just like thought and processed like, what should I do? I was terrified. Yeah. I knew exactly what had happened. There was this conspiracy that happened, and all of the friends, she had either talked to people or whatever. I don't know that part, but for whatever reason, 14 other people stopped following us. And so I freaked out, and I wish that there's a part of me that wishes that I had the maturity to be like, hey, I'm uncomfortable with this. I don't think that we should be alone in your house. Your parents aren't here, Yeah. But I did not have that maturity. And I don't know, maybe it is the maturity. What I did do is I turned around and ran like I was on fire.
Oh, wow.
I don't remember crossing that ladder fence thing, but I'm pretty sure I hit it at speed and launched and got
kind
back.
Of just bounced off.
And I remember just being like, wow, I can't believe this situation that I like somehow got myself into. And thank goodness that, I'm honestly talking to you tonight. I mean, I don't know if even Anne Marie has heard that story before. I'm so thankful that the story is what it is, that I have that ability to share. This is the story as it was, instead of the way that the story could have gone, right? And I wish that I could tell you, like, man, I really had all the time in the world to think about what the right thing to do was. I just kind of reacted, and went. But I wonder, as the story tonight talks about, I wonder if some of the things that we work on in our relationship with God and some of our values and whatnot, some of those things come out in those moments where you don't really have a lot of time to decide. It's kind of pre-decided for you, that a part of how you think and how you feel and part of your character, it just responds in the moment. And so that's where we're going tonight. We've been talking about Joseph, and we are in chapter 39. And I think we have some verses here, but I don't know if you'll be able to see them. So where we left Joseph was he had the loving family that sold him into slavery. And so that was kind of the messed up part of that story. And then at the end of the story, it said, but what we know is that God was with him. And that's incredible help to know. I wish I knew how exactly it was that he knew that God was with him. Like if it was a voice, or I don't know, a bird came and talked to him, or I think that's in there somewhere.
God is with me.
I wish I knew how he knew that, but I think there's been times in my life where I felt like I just really feel like this is the right thing. And so this story picks up where Joseph has been taken down. He's now in Egypt. And he was sold into a house. So in chapter 39, Joseph was taken to Egypt by the Ishmaelite leaders. He was purchased by Potiphar, who is an Egyptian officer. Potiphar was captain of the guard for Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. So he wasn't just sold to anybody. It was a pretty wealthy, well-known family within the community. And as the story goes on, the Potiphar starts to recognize that God is with Joseph. That's what it says in the Bible. He notices this about Joseph. And so he starts to give him more and more responsibilities. And the more responsibilities he gives him, the more that those things start to prosper, to be blessed. And so eventually, what the Bible says is that Potiphar gave him run of everything in the house. He didn't have to worry about anything. It has this weird... at the end of the verse says, Potiphar didn't have to worry about anything except for what to eat. It's kind of a strange thing to say, but Potiphar didn't worry about anything. Oh, here it is. in the end of verse 6, Potiphar didn't worry about anything except for what to eat.
Nice.
And that's pretty cool responsibility. So Joseph was still being blessed, even though he knew that God was with him. He got sold into slavery. That probably can't feel very good. That's a long trip. And you're wondering, what in the world? My family just, they wanted to stab me in the back, but they didn't stab me in the back. They just stabbed me in the back.
Yeah.
Right? Sold me into slavery, never to be seen again. Now you're a slave in a foreign country, but God is still apparently with him.
Yeah.
What I love about this story is how many times I've felt like, not everything has gone right in my life. And there's been times where it's like, man, God, I don't know. But I have felt a confidence that even though that thing happened, that friend hurt me, or that thing that I really wanted didn't happen, or whatever, just a presence of like, hey, it's okay. I've got you.
Yeah.
Right. And I think he had this, only I think he probably had it stronger.
Yeah.
And so the story goes on. So Joseph is in the house, and let's see here, verse 6b. Joseph was a very handsome and well-built young man. That's nice.
Good detail.
Yeah, that's a nice detail. He's a well-built young man. And Potiphar's wife soon began to look at him lustfully. Oh, the plot thickens. Okay. She says, "Come and sleep with me," she demanded. And Joseph refused. "Look," he told her, "my master trusts me with everything in my entire household. No one here has more authority than I do. He has held back nothing from me except for you, because you're his wife. How could I do such a wicked thing? It would be a great sin against God." What I love here is just his thinking, and his mind was already set up. He didn't let the power go to his head, or I am pretty cool. I have run of this whole household. That's pretty cool. An opportunity presents itself in, what we see here and in the following passage. She was persistent. She would come day after day after day and say, hey, we should do this. And here's the thing to highlight is she actually had authority over him. It was Potiphar and his wife, and then him. And so technically she could just order him, and, you could see a part of your brain reasoning. We're like, but she ordered me to, so I guess I'm supposed to. But he was following a different set of rules. Yeah. A set of rules that was above this scenario. And so here we get to see a portion of his character stand out, where he's like, this is not only is this, this is what you want, but the person who is above you, your husband, says, no, obviously this is not good. And then the person who's above your husband would say that this is not good. Yeah. So day after day, she kept putting pressure on. And then one day, verse 12, she came and grabbed him by his cloak, demanding, "Come on and sleep with me." And he tore himself away, but in the process left his cloak behind as he ran from the house. Now, this is actually what spurred the story that I told. It didn't really fit the question that we were answering, except for I kind of remember a moment where I felt like, how in the world am I in this situation? But I've got to get out of here right now. Yeah. Yeah. Of course, I was a bit younger than he was in this scenario, and I'm in no way saying, look how mature I am. I really think it was kind of a fortunate accident that I was just terrified of girls in general, and ran away. But we see Joseph's character stand out. Well, as a result, if you haven't read the story, read chapter 39. She's like, okay, this is the word's going to get out, or she's frustrated or whatever. It doesn't say what her motivations are, but when her husband comes home, she starts to lie. She starts to say that Joseph came in and was trying to take advantage of her, and he ran away, and that's the only reason that this cloak could possibly be here still. And so then Joseph got thrown into jail. Potiphar believed his wife, of course, that makes sense, and threw him into jail. And you think, man, this story is going downhill again. You thought, oh, maybe it's like coming back up again. We saw that God was going to bless him, and then family, and then but he's getting blessed in his household, and now false claims, and now he's in jail. Kidding. And we'll see where the story goes from there. But for tonight, I want to talk about a couple of applications to this. When we make our decisions, I think what I wanted to just for us to think about tonight is, it would be great to think that in every single situation that you have in front of you, that you would have plenty of time to think about it, think about all of the pros of it, all of the cons, to either have the biblical knowledge to know what the scenario is, to phone a friend, to whatever. Like, you'd have plenty of time to know, is this okay or not? What would my friends say? What would my parents say? What would I say to myself in 20 years?
Yeah.
Right? That's a great question to ask yourself if you can pause for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And in those scenarios, they never come up beforehand. Hey, in a week, there's going to be this really difficult question about this particular thing. So why don't you study up and pre-decide what you're going to do? And then when the opportunity presents itself, then you'll be able to respond. It never happens that way. You kind of just are on your heels and you have to decide. And so tonight, what we want to talk about, if you have an opportunity to meet in your small group, I hope that you have that. I hope they have the ability to kind of process this. Are you living a life that you can be proud of? And some of why this really kind of hit me in this particular time is because we have a lot of downtime right now.
That's true.
A lot of downtime. And a lot of people, we talked about this last week, a lot of people kind of struggle when there's less structure in their schedule. And some of the things that they particularly normally struggle with, or new struggles, come up when there's downtime. And I think this whole character building is doing the right thing when nobody's looking, or doing the right thing regardless of what the consequences are. So maybe you're going to get a reward for doing the right thing. It seems like more often than not, you don't get a reward for doing the right thing. It's expected that you do the right thing. And then if you do the wrong thing, there's consequences. Yeah. So there's nothing or consequences. There's very rarely here's your reward for doing the right thing. That rarely happens.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. So one of the questions that I'd like people to process is, what's a situation where you feel like you're just stuck, like you're at a crossroads? And why this is beneficial is, like I said, these scenarios that will come up in your life, they don't pre-present themselves. So this is a great exercise to just analyze, where do you currently feel like you're kind of stuck? And this might be, especially if you're younger, this might be really helpful to ask your small group leader, some of your friends, because you may not actually recognize it in your own life, but some of your friends might recognize, oh, you struggle with this family dynamic or this school dynamic or friend thing or whatever. Yeah. So what's one area that you struggle with, you feel stuck in? And then as you think about that scenario, think about what would be the next right thing for you to do. Here at Trinity, we talk a lot about helping people take their next step. And a lot of times that's talking spiritually. And I think this is one of those ways to think, okay, in this particular scenario, I've been struggling with this particular thing. What's the right thing for me to do? What's the next right thing for me to do? Now, I would love to hear that you all have the mental capacity to be able to process that on your own. I don't. When I struggle with things, I really need other people to process with. I'm a verbal processor. Yeah. I think as I speak. That's the process of how I figure things out. And so that's why I think that's one of the reasons that we're set up in our small groups, is to be able to have people around us who can help us figure out what that next step is. Now, it requires some vulnerability. Maybe your particular crossroads is not a huge moral dilemma, but maybe it is man, I just feel like week after week after week, I keep attacking my siblings emotionally, and I don't want to do that, but I don't know how to stop and just to get some outside, some relief valve insights. Some people saying, hey, how about this? Have you thought about this? Have you tried this? And get some help in that next step for what's the next right thing for you. The reason why I think this exercise is really helpful is because it'll build up some muscles in your character, so that when a scenario shows up, Maybe it won't be as dramatic as in Joseph's life, but I guarantee there's going to be scenarios that show up in your life, and somebody's going to offer you an opportunity to make a decision, and you're going to already have some built up character muscle that's going to respond quickly to what the right thing is. And when that muscle is strong, then you don't have to worry as much. Now, we've talked about before, and we'll just say briefly tonight, there's always grace on the other side. There's always, when you make a wrong decision, God is so loving and so forgiving, but he wants us to be strong and be smart and be wise to know what the right thing is. And so it's not I don't have to be strong in this way because God will forgive me. No, to follow in Jesus' footsteps, it is to know what those right things are. And so we have to develop that muscle. So the bottom line for tonight is, when in doubt, do the next right thing. Our goal tonight was to try and end early, and we're just 30 seconds from the world record's slowest time.
Yay.
If I stop talking, then we'll make it.
Okay.
But hey, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We hope to see you next week. I hope you're going out to small groups now. If you're not in a small group, text me and I will try and get you in a group. Otherwise, we love you, and we will see you next week. Let me pray. God, thank you so much for this night and for these friends. Pray that you would help us to build strong muscles in following you and knowing what the next right thing is. We love you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right.
Goodbye.
Bye, guys. See ya.